Alright, now you gotta make a decision 3. Which one do you think you want to go after? Because we're at a split here. We're cold right now, so if you're north, go ahead and take the shot if you're close enough. 4 is on going after someone else, and we're about to turn hot here.
3 Fox 3 medium.
Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I would like to say welcome and hope my content is what you're looking for. I record actual missions and training sessions that I usually create. If you're looking for a full mission, or at least the highlights, this is the place for you. In this flight, I took a few new BMS pilots to show them what multiplayer is all about, explaining what to expect, different stages of the mission, before and after, including login, joining a session, IVC check, briefing, comms, and TACAN. Also how to interact with a flight lead and work as a team. If you're interested in joining multiplayer, this video is definitely for you. As for the mission, I was leading a 4-ship cap on the border, defending from any aircraft trying to get across. Feel free to check out other videos on the channel and the description for my merch store where all purchases directly support the channel. Comment if you have any questions and subscribe if you enjoy the content. See you in the next one. Alright.
So on the left is 2?
Yep, the left is 2, on the right is 3, and then the bottom one is 4.
Okay.
I'm at 4.
I see ya.
I joined 4.
And now the INI file basically populates any threat circles that the host has, or steer point lines or anything. So being that you have that in your folder now, click the data cartridge.
Okay.
And then press load. And circles should pop up.
Yeah, they popped up towards the south, I think.
Towards the south or the north?
It looked like a bunch of circles popped up around the alternate field. What I thought is I just saw.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
There should be in North Korea up north.
Go to 3D or 2D?
In 2D.
Got it.
Down here is where the
Oh, that's
circles
interesting.
popped up. Which is probably not right, huh?
Yeah, that's not where they should
up
be.
here.
Go ahead and back out once. So just press exit and then replace the file. So just do that file, put that in there, replace it, and then overwrite. And once you do that, go ahead and commit again. Press it again. Make sure it's green.
Oh, I unselected it.
Then go to that same one again. See, now you have them, so kind of scroll out. So you have them now. That's what it's supposed to look like. So you don't have to load it anymore. So if you ever have a problem, if it doesn't work the first, sometimes it doesn't like it in certain aspects. So if you ever have that problem, you could load it, back out, replace it, and then come back in and it should be good.
That makes sense. It was a little wonky while I was in there.
Yeah, because usually before you would have to like close down BMS and start over again, but now you could just load the file, go exit out of your slot, and then go back in and it should be good. So that's what it looks like. So the SA5, there's the SA2, and the SA3, and then that line over the demilitarized zone, the DMZ. So we're going to try not to cross that line because that's North Korea.
Okay.
And this is a very easy way to, because it will take a long time for everybody to do this. So you can just send the INI file, and they can just load it in there.
Cool. That makes sense. That was even easier than I thought it was. I thought you had to use like weapon delivery planner or whatever.
Nope, you don't. And then once you do that, and if you want to use the weapon delivery planner, you have to save. Like you do all your briefing, you get your weapons, and you make sure your steer points are correct, and you could save. So you go up to the save up there, and you have to make sure you save it the same name as the check ride. You see to the left and above the missions. Like if you look all the way to the left,
No, am I blind?
Not like
I'm
like
looking right
it's
here.
it's not in the screen. It's like all the way to the left.
Oh,
So if you look, keep going, and then just below mission schedule, and then go down.
okay.
Yep, see right there, and then look up. It says check
Oh,
ride. So that's the name of
yeah.
this TE. And usually the INI file is the same name as the TE. So it would behoove you to make it the same name, so they could correlate. If you make it different, it
I
might
see what you're saying.
not have it
Okay.
anymore. It might not correlate. So
So
yeah,
just make sure you make this save the same name as the name is this up here.
Yes.
You called this check ride?
yeah, I called it.
INI?
Yep. So saved it. So now you have the mission. So you can basically use this mission anytime you want because it's in your file now. So now you could go to Weapon Delivery Planner, load this mission, and you have all the information now.
Okay.
And you can put it on
cool.
your knee board.
Yeah, I might actually do that.
Or at
So it
the
would be a TE file, right? Are we US?
Yeah, so the green one is, you can only choose one, but if there's more than one side, it'll give you different greens. So if there's like 2 sides that have humans in it, it'll be like green is US and like DPRK is green. But whatever side you're on, you can kind of tell by the 2D there. Go to the US as or that'll work too. So we're
And we're
Mustang.
5.
Yep.
Do I hit? So I don't know when to hit yes or no for
So
this.
so this is if you have like precision steer points, like if you're bombing a specific building and you put in actual steer points, like you go to assign steer points in the recon. If you do that, then you want to press yes. But we didn't do it this time, so it doesn't matter. But there's no, the only bad thing would be to have steer points and say no, then you wouldn't have steer points. But if you say no and you don't have steer points, then it doesn't matter because you don't have steer points.
You're not talking about these. If we have these.
Yeah, those
right?
targets. Yep.
Okay.
And it'll
That's what I
populate the
thought.
screen. It won't really have any effect on where your steer points are. It'll just populate or not populate the screen. So after that loads, we'll kind of go through the default stuff for during a mission. So I'll go back briefly.
All right, listen up.
Sorry.
I'm saying, not talking about you. So I'm going live. You could keep on your screen. So on here, go to coordination card or data card. Oh, on the weapon delivery planner. So here is where everything is. At the top it has the airfield, and then the name. You can actually put your name in there if you click on the yellow part on the left side there. So you click, and now you could, depending on which slot you are, you can put names. You can type them in.
Oh, okay.
You can put, and you know everybody's name.
I didn't see who the other two guys were, Dama.
And then you press OK. And now try to put the names in again. So click on those names again, and it erases everything. So just keep that in mind when you put the names in. You misspelled somebody's name, you got to do it all over. So
I just did that.
so you can press cancel, and then it won't do anything. So if you press OK, I think it clears it. But just remember, if you want to go back into it, it clears everything. So you have to type it in again if you want to click OK.
That's funny. I actually just did that.
Huh.
Okay, that's good to know.
And then you see
So I noticed it actually populates the lead and wing and element and stuff already in single player, but it doesn't do it here in multiplayer.
I guess
I
because
guess.
there's no person, there's no AI. I guess it's not communicating or something.
Okay.
But so you have the 4 of us there. You could put the little tick mark if you want on yourself. That little tick. It doesn't really do anything. This looks cool. For the TACAN, so if you look on BMS and go to briefing, so usually in multiplayer environments we usually use this as a standard. So if you look at the call sign, it says Mustang 5, Viper 7, and Hog 3. So this is an order of takeoff, and it's an order of a couple of different things. So Mustang 5 is the first flight. If you scroll down a little bit to the comm ladder, you'll see the intra flight there, and it has 15 on the VHF channel. The VHF one on that same line, but on the VHF, yep, right there, the 15, 143, 175, and then the 15.
We don't use the UHF one ever, right?
We use it
didn't even
for
realize that.
tactical to talk to AWACS and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was 6, or is this for the people AWACS?
It's for it's if you want to use UHF for your intra flight.
Oh, okay.
Usually you don't. We usually use VHF channels, but this is how you can tell what channel you are. So our flight Mustang 5 is channel 15 for Victor, and also that corresponds to what order you are in. So Mustang 5 is the first one, so they're 15. The next one, if you were in Viper 7, you would look at the same page, it would be 16, and then Hog 3 would be 17. And it just goes in order, so that's how you can automatically know what VHF channel you are. You understand?
Okay.
You get it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's an easy, instead of having to ask every single, what channel are we? You can just look on here. The first one is 15, 16, and 17. If you're like the 5th person, then you're whatever it is. So that's a way to do that.
These guys are on 16. These guys are on 17.
That's correct. Yep. And that always happens. And then in multiplayer, it's also standard to use the Victor channel for your TACAN. So being that Mustang 5, it's 15. So we'll use 15 for the 15 for the TACAN as well.
And single player, I've been like, man, I cannot for the life of me get my TACAN to work with my AI. I thought maybe he was doing it wrong, but I'm like, no, it's happening so much. I know I have to be doing it wrong. But I'm on UHF every time I'm trying to do TACAN. I didn't switch to VHF.
Well, TACAN has nothing to do with the VHF channels. It's just what we use as the channel.
Then I don't know. I don't know what it is then.
Well,
so if I'm on 12, Yankee, then they're on 75, right? And we're linked together.
Yes.
It's 63.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Okay.
But in single player, it's weird. It's like I have my on the that is mapped out in the threat guide on like the last page. A couple of last pages. It's on like the second to the last page. So in single player, it's really weird. So the AI presets for fighters is flight 1 would be 12, 22, 75, and 85. So 1 and 3 are tied, and then 2 and 4 are tied. It's a little different than what multiplayer does. Usually we tie 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But in multiplayer, so with 1, depending on your flight lead and their preference, they would either be 15 X-ray or 15 Yankee, depending on what your flight lead wants. But flight lead would be 15, and then number 2 would be 78, and then also depending on what your flight lead wants, sometimes he'll have 1 being 15, 2 being 78, and then 3 being 78, the opposite band. So the first flight's X-ray, the second flight would be Yankee, 78 Yankee,
Okay.
and then 15 Yankee. This is so that the lead can swap bands, can swap to X-ray to C3. It's hard to
That's
explain.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
No, I get it. You explained it well.
Cool, because it's hard to explain if you
Um,
don't understand TACAN. But if
yeah,
you do,
no,
then
that
that's
makes
cool.
sense. You just hit the 0 and enter, and
Yes,
now you're
exactly.
looking at the other guy.
Yep, just real quick. You can just do that and
Um,
see how far 3 is.
Was I getting the UHF and VHF confused with IDM? That's when you use
Oh,
that,
yeah.
right? That's what I was
IDM.
thinking of,
Yep.
I think.
You need to be on
Okay, my
the,
bad.
depending on which one you set. You could set it for VHF or UHF, but it's default UHF. And usually you're on 6. So when everybody's on 6, then IDM will go through if whoever's hosting it or whatever. So that's the standard for voice or Victor channels and frequency and TACAN. It happens with most multiplayer flights.
So where, dude? All right, you know what? We just talked about it so much. Where does it say our TACAN on here? I know where it is on weapon delivery planner on the knee board, but
It doesn't on here.
oh, okay. So
On the briefing it doesn't, but on here you usually have to change you can change the column below, not the column, but the group below. So you see the TACAN on that category. So go to the right a little bit. See the 13 Yankee.
on weapon delivery planner
Yeah,
here,
on the TACAN.
I don't see 13. I see a 12 here, 22, 75.
So on
85.
the call sign pack, it's underneath where'd your cursor go? So on that block, right there. So go to the right. You see them right there. So change those, and that'll change the TACAN up there. So change that to 15 Yankee. And then go to the next one. Go to 16. And it changes up there. And then 17. And then now you can go back to the flight and change it off of that. So that's 15 already. So the next one will be 78. And the next one, depending on your flight lead, will be 78 X-ray. And then 15 X-ray.
Oh, and then okay, and then you flip flop them, so these guys are matched. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's usually what happens, but depend on your flight lead. That's what I do when I lead a flight. So that's default for me.
I like this. This is a good setup.
And sometimes people do the 1 and 3 tied, which is good if you have if you have competent people and like very experienced flight members, then it's good to link 1 and 3.
And do 2 and 4 just not have a TACAN, or are they?
They'll be tied to each other.
Okay, that's interesting.
So at all points, 1 knows how far 3 is. It usually works if you're like doing a grinder or something, and you're split off into 2 elements. So you just know how far away you are, and it's 2's job to like not get lost.
Yeah, that's when 1 knows that 2's going to be on him. And
Yes.
Trust him, huh?
Yep. So all that's good. You got your Joker and Bingo. You can edit that when the briefing goes. Yeah, so that's about it. So you got a couple of all this yellow stuff you can edit for the most part. So I sometimes put notes in like the ROE down there or something. So
This is where you put Mar.
yeah, you can put it there. You can put it in the one above class.
Oh.
So I
there we go.
changed. I went into Photoshop and changed the order because they're out of order. So I put Mar. So it's in the middle. I put it on the left side because that's what when I look at the class of MiG-29. First thing I want to see is Mar. So I changed it in Photoshop to order it better. But those are the different timelines in BVR that you could take note if you have it.
Can I inject something I just learned about Weapons Delivery Planner that I really love a feature of that I didn't even know about? All those yellow boxes, you can actually type in those and fill in and change the parameters for anything you want.
Yep.
And so like Joker, that's never filled in, and so I always fill that in with whatever's in the briefing, whatever's discussed. So 4,000 or whatever, so that's easy to remember. But yeah, I ran into that problem, and I accidentally clicked there once upon a time and figured out you could type in it. I'm like, oh wow, that's a game changer.
A whole new world. It's like, oh man. So yeah, you can do that with that, the targets, the secondary, the ROE, the class, and all that. And then at the support on the tankers, if there's more than one tanker, you can click on that little box next to tanker 1. So you could actually drop down. If there's like 5 tankers, you can actually choose which tanker you want to have the information for.
We only got one tanker though right now.
Yeah,
right?
we only have one, so yeah. But you could have 2 tankers there technically, and then you have all the information there for it.
And I was wondering about this the other day because I'm still pretty new to WDP. Easy Boards has the comm ladder in one of the output pages that it outputs. There's no comm ladder that WDP can put in the knee boards, is there?
No, there's not. But you can go to, if you go to DTC, you could do that, but you can go to DTC on your weapon delivery planner. Go to comms, where'd it go? Radio nav.
Radio nav, yeah.
And you can take a screenshot of this or something, and that'll be the same. You could just...
Well, what I've ended up doing is I use Easy Boards as a script that generates just 2 pages. And one of them is the comm ladder, the other is the steer points and waypoints and all that. And I output that to one of the pages in Weapons Delivery Planner and tell WDP to leave those 2 pages alone. And Easy Boards is that's what I got started with the knee boards. And then I learned about Weapons Delivery Planner, and that just adds icing to the cake.
Yeah, it's nice to have. Once you're used to it, you won't need it anymore. But yeah, it's good to have which one is which.
Yeah. Well, when you go to that update knee boards pad, I mean, it gives you so many stinking options on what you want to put on any particular page. It's nice, except for the comm ladder. It's
weird. Yeah, it's weird. But, and you could, because I have like 7 or 8 customized pictures. I got like a little bit of SAMs on there. I have some of our standard operating procedures there. I got all of the formations, like the page on threat thing. I have a whole page of that. What else do I have? I have like a checklist.
Checklist alone would be huge.
Yep.
So yeah, especially for beginners, you'd think they would take the checklist from the training manual. That is a couple of the pages in there.
Yeah, it's very nice to be able to just get a PNG picture and basically have anything. You can have a picture of your mom if you want. So yeah, anything you want in there.
Yeah, it's a handy little tool. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack the discussion.
No, you're good.
I just saw you all working on that.
Nope, absolutely good. That's basically it on this. Go through the briefing, do all that, and then we'll do an IVC check. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And it's usually in order of the flights. And if you go back to briefing and see the flights there, it's in order of flights. So the same Mustang, Viper, Hog. So if there's like 4 different flights, you'll just go in order of that. And then obviously in order of the Wingman numbers within the flight. So I'm going to mute my mic, and you go to mute your mic, and we're going to do an IVC check going down the line.
Okay.
Mustang 5-1 IVC.
Mustang 5-2 IVC.
Dama, make sure you have BMS active.
Dama check IVC. Dama check IVC.
Yep, gotcha. All right, heard everyone. And you just make sure you hear them and make sure the audio is coming from where it's supposed to go, like your headset or whatever you're using.
To talk in game, we just use our comm switch up and down, right?
Yeah, it'll be normal. So the F1 and F2 is this only 2D, and then once you're in 3D, then you'll use your normal comm switch.
Cool. I just wasn't sure if I needed to mess with like key bindings and IVC or something.
No, it's whatever the comm switch is that you
Cool.
binded.
That's
And
nice.
then for AWACS, I don't know if you've seen, there's not too many videos about GCI, human GCI, but they use F1 and F2 for that as well. So they'll be in the 2D looking at the scope, and they'll be using that to talk to folks. And AWACS is actually really, really fun.
That's cool.
All right, there's a click dance. So, Adama, go ahead and join number 3.
Got it.
And then go ahead and
Choice 3.
do another click dance, and then we'll head up here shortly. But yeah, the plan is to go to, let me change this.
Since I changed some stuff here, do I want to like save data cartridge or anything?
What did you change?
Well, I guess nothing. I guess I would only update the kneeboard.
Yeah, yep. So I did change the steer points. So I moved steer point 6 from here to where it is now. So if you want to update that, you can. If you don't, then that's fine. But you always have to do a click dance though, because if you change your steer points, it changes times, and sometimes your IFF codes are different. So the plan is for us is to orbit between steer point 6 and 7, and defend ourselves from any attacks from the north. Basically the brief.
Okay.
We have a TGP, so use that when you can. Make sure you use IFF as well for any. Make sure you know who you're shooting at. We have AWACS in game, so make sure you use that when you need to. Yep. And what we'll do is we'll basically set up a grinder. So basically, I'll split up the flight into 2 elements. So 1 and 2 will be the first element, and 3 and 4 will be the second element. So 3, you might be on your own for the most part, but you could still participate in the grinder. Basically, what'll happen, if you're looking at my my live stream here, I'll have 1 and 2 flow north towards whatever's happening. We'll shoot off a missile. And that's when number 3 needs to come back behind us as we're turning cold. And then when 3 fires, he'll turn cold and we'll come back. And it's like a rotisserie, taking turns, making sure someone's hot at all times. And you don't have to ask for permission to turn around. You could actually turn around once the first element foxes, and then once they're turning cold, then the second element could like just start turning hot, because by the time you turn, you'll be hot at that point. So you don't have to ask for permission, and don't wait to be told to turn hot. We'll set up Mars 18 miles, and yeah, what time is sunset? Sunset is 17:25, so we got 2 hours till sunset. So we should be good. Any questions on this short little brief?
I go the same direction as you when we're going hot and cold for the most part, right?
Yes, unless otherwise noted.
Okay.
And also, if I shoot and you don't have a shot in the next like 5 seconds, just turn off cold, because I don't want you to continue getting closer and closer. Just follow me in the turn if you don't have a shot, and just say 2 no shot, or just communicate that you didn't shoot.
Okay.
And then we'll sort. By default, sorting is so if I'm on the left and you're on the right, we'll sort azimuth. So based on your side, that's who you'll take on the enemy side. So if I'm on the left, I'll take the left. If you're on the right, you'll take the right. That'll be like default. So once we come up to some targets and they're split up a little bit, automatically either I could say it or you could say it. You could say like sorted right, and then obviously I have sorted left. And then if they're split range-wise, so if there's one in front of the other, lead takes the leading one, and number 2 takes the trailing one. So I'll be like 1 sorted leader, and then 2 you'll be sorted the trailer. And then if it's elevation-wise, usually the lead takes the higher one. And so if they're like line abreast in the same, there's no actual distance between them. They're like line abreast, equal distance. The lead takes the higher one, and number 2 takes the lower one by default. So it's like sorted high guy, sorted low, or you could say sorted 24,000 or sorted 13,000 or whatever. But that's the default sorting parameter. So it's like as least amount of talking as possible because the comms get very, very busy.
All right, so lead gets the same side as him, or he gets the high guy, or he gets the other leading guy.
Yes.
Lead shoots lead, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the usual. If there's no communication, that's what happens. But if there's communication and he wants you to take a specific one, then that's that.
Okay.
Like if I give you a command, you could just say like your call sign 2. So if I say, I give you a command to do something like 2 turn left, and you'll just be like 2. So I just understand that you heard me. It's a affirmation of commands. Sometimes people say copy, or sometimes people say I understand or something. All you technically have to say is just 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever.
2.
Yep, perfect. And if there's more than one person, so if there's 4 people, and lead says like tune to tower, like push uniform 3 on the Victor channel, it'll be like 2, 3, 4, and you just kind of go in order. Because if everybody tries to talk at once, of course it's going to be just blocked. So it's in order of your flight members.
Okay, yeah, and if you miss your call, then like somebody else will just go ahead, and then you just wait until the end, right?
Yeah. So it's like if you give 2 like 5 seconds to talk, and it's like 3, 4, 2. So make it as smooth as possible.
Do you still need to load your data cartridge in a ramp start?
Taxi? No, you don't.
Or taxi start, my bad.
Nope.
Okay.
Mustang 5-3, Victor check.
Mustang 5-2, radio check.
Mustang 5-1 on Victor. 4, are you there?
Mustang 4, IVC check.
Yep, got you on Victor, Dama, or 4. Just let me know when you're a green jet. Check your TACAN, so it'll be number 1 will be 15 Yankee, 2 will be 7-8 Yankee, 3 will be 7-8 X-ray, 4 will be 15 X-ray.
And you had to set them all to air, right?
Yes, don't forget to do that. Yep.
Good afternoon. Mustang 5, you are number 1 for departure. Taxi, Charlie, Foxtrot, Echo, and then hold short, runway 27 left.
27 left, Mustang 5-1.
Is that rain? I've never seen it. Rain.
Yeah, it's rain, so you stepped on each other. When someone else is talking, please don't hit the radio.
Mustang 5-4, taxi, Charlie, Foxtrot, Echo, and then hold short, runway 27 left.
So 4 is green, I think that's what you said.
Mustang 5-4, taxi, Charlie, Foxtrot, Echo, and then hold short, runway 27 left.
So 4, you don't have to call for takeoff clearance because lead does that because we're all a single 4 ship.
Three is green.
2 green.
Copy. One is rolling, or one is taxing. So as you're taxing, just kind of say 2's taxing or 3's taxing, but make sure you follow the person in front of you. So 1's taxing.
Two taxing.
Three taxing.
Four texting.
So I'm gonna go over the takeoff here real quick. So it depends on what the lead wants, but usually the lead will set up on either side. So if the lead goes on the left side, then the other person behind gets on the right side. With the center line being the separation, and he'll basically set that up so it'll be easier for the first turn if there is a turn. So depends on what he wants. Usually the first element lines up in that order, and then the second element just waits on the taxiway, and once the first element is all gone or starts rolling, then they start rolling onto the runway. You won't get reamed for doing something wrong, but that's usually the default stuff that happens.
Mustang 5 Osan Tower, weight 280 at 9 knots, runway 27 left. You're cleared for takeoff.
Sunrise.
And once you're set, you just say 2 set, so I know that you're set and ready to go.
2 set.
And usually it's like a 5-second interval, so when the lead starts rolling, you wait, count to 5, and then you just say 2's rolling. And then when you're airborne, you get visual, and you say airborne visual, so I know that you're behind me and up in the air.
2.
1's rolling.
Two's rolling. Two's airborne and visual.
Mustang 5-1, contact departure.
Four set.
Alright, 2, I can't see you here, so make sure you can see my canopy so I could look back and see you.
3's rolling.
Roger, I'm on your 5.
4 rolling.
Kind of get on the since you were on the right side, so kind of get on the right side over like the 4 o'clock area.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Just no, you never. It's all new. I'm just teaching you what to expect. You'll get it eventually. Visual.
Mustang 5-4, is there a problem?
3 visual airborne.
Going straight to steer 2. We're gonna do orbits over there so we can regroup.
Are you full mil power right now?
Now I'm at FTIT 700, so not full mil. I'm at 330. And for climbing, I usually use FTIT, the temperature gauge right below your percent. on the right side. That's what I usually use. Flight, go and push uniform 6.
2, 3, 4.
2, switch sides.
Like go to your left side.
Yep, just switch on the left.
Caution. Caution.
I'm getting inlet icing.
As your engine ice should be in auto, so you'll be okay. Going right to steer point 4. And 3, second element, try to keep about a 10-mile spacing between us.
10 miles, copy.
Yep, it's a good grinder distance.
Lost y'all in the clouds anyway.
So I'm getting IDM pings and I'm not doing it. Is it because one of you is on continuous?
Yeah, 1's on continuous.
That's cool.
Where'd you go to? Oh, I see you.
I'm falling behind a little bit, sorry.
Four, have you switched to uniform 6?
Four, eight, follow 3.
Your UHF channel, are you on 6 right now?
According. HF6.
There you are.
Wow, I completely lost you through these clouds.
Coming left, steer 5, above the clouds now. Cloud tops are 15,000.
Oh, roger, visual. I'm on your right. Hi.
Oh, visual. Right now you're in the blind spot, so just continue that turn. Don't do anything. Just continue. And straighten out. Do straighten out.
I completely lost you, my bad.
Yeah, I'm level to your left now.
Visual.
So yeah, getting above me like that, you could lose visual real quick. So usually you try to avoid doing that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Alright, so we're about 31 miles from our camping area, so it's going to get pretty hectic. I call for a bullseye call. Don't really worry about where stuff is. I'll I'll show you guys where everything is, so don't spend too much brain power on figuring out where stuff is.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1. Picture is 2 groups. Range split. Lead group. Bullseye. 3-1-5-2-0, 21,000. Track. Southeast. Hostile. Trail group. Bullseye. 3-2-5-2-2, 21,000. Track. East. Hostile.
It's about where the SA2 is on the overlapping of SA2 and SA5. Alright, flight go and fence in. So fencing in is your lights off, arming any weapons you have, and then tell me your fuel. So 1 fenced in, 10.8.
2 fenced in, 10.9.
3 fenced in, 10.4.
4, 10, 2, on the
2, are you familiar with the data link? Like if I send you data, do you know what you're looking for?
Yeah, it should be the little thing with the number 1 next to it, right?
Yeah, and if I send you data, you'll hear it and you'll see the 2 next to it. But yeah, same.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah. I'll know it when I see it. I've seen it when the AI does it.
Oh yeah. Need my visor up here, it's bright.
I always forget about the visor.
So right now is a good time to go into master, missile master mode, and then set up your TGP so you can have it in there to cycle it, so you don't have to do that during an engagement.
Oh, so you're saying use the missile mode to switch to TGP rather than like switch between everything?
Yeah, so go to master mode and then make sure your TGP is one of your pages there. And then turn it on.
Yeah, okay, I like that better than switching. That's cool.
It changes based on your mode. So if you're in air-to-ground mode, it'll go to air-to-ground starting in pod mode. If you switch it to air-to-air, and then if you're in nav mode, it's whatever you have it set as.
Yeah. Ooh, I lost you a little bit there. Where'd you go?
About 5 o'clock.
Okay, if you could kind of get offset a little bit to the left so I could see you. Just make sure you have a visual line of sight with the cockpit so you know lead can see you. It's comforting for the lead to see the wingman. Yeah, right there, perfect.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, picture is 1 group. Bullseye 34016, 21,000. Track west, hostile.
Alright, 2 come right. See if I can see those guys coming right.
Mustang 5, Dragnet 1. I've been trolling, but nothing's bit. Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, picture is 1 group. Bullseye 32017, 21,000. Track southwest, Outlaw.
Do you see chevrons, bullseye 31417?
Negative.
Kick out 80 scope.
2.
They're like right next to bullseye.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, picture is 1 group. Bullseye 34517, 21,000. Track northeast, hostile.
Two coming left.
I saw a contact far out about 27065.
Yeah, is it jamming?
No, not jamming.
It might have been their tanker or their thing or something. Their AWACS.
I saw it for 2 seconds and it was gone.
Another group over here. So yeah, 3, go ahead and do that. Keep doing that. Stay behind us. We're gonna see if we can pull them in. We have a contact at 27858, 21,000.
I saw them pop up just now.
We're gonna monitor them. They're hot right now, but we're gonna monitor them.
I saw them on the data leaks, but I can't pick them up on the radar.
Yeah, you might have to spotlight. They're going in and out. They're gone now for me.
I keep getting them at 21,000.
One is clean at the moment.
I got one at 21,000, one at 18,000.
Alright, one's got both.
I got them.
A little far out. I don't want to go in the SA2 quite yet. 2, lock the trailer. See if you can get them to commit, and we'll have 3 and 4 go in. Seems like they're committing though. Alright, Nails 21 north. 2, follow me. 3 and 4, go ahead and commit. And we're gonna turn in onto you, but 3 and 4, go ahead and commit.
4, commit.
3 coming in. board do you have these guys? You know, hit the gas and pick up some speed.
A2.
Be sure to call out your Fox calls.
And wait till he gets to 20. Yeah, he's running.
Did you Fox?
Yes, Fox 3 I might not have hit down, so it just went pit bull.
Alright, one's in, go ahead and go cold.
4, Fox 3.
See if you can go cold left, turn left.
Left 2, left 3.
Alright, 2, there's the first group and there's a trailing group. You see the trailing group?
Negative.
It's 40 scope, about 35 miles out.
Fuck, I lost you while I was looking at my radar.
I got your low and to my left.
Oh, I see, okay. I see the group leaving, I see the group, yeah, I see the group towards us in the
Hog 3, Dragnet 1, be advised. Threat aircraft, bullseye,
take the trailer in this hot group. Got Nails 29 to the north. Alright, I'm gonna Fox on this leader here.
Two, Fox 2.
Fox 3 leader 25148. Turning left. Dude.
I already started turning right.
Come left. Husky off cold 3-4 continue east.
Hog 3, Dragnet 1, be advised. Threat aircraft bearing 32021 19,000.
So be advised on your direction. I had a Nails 29, so this would be on the lookout. One Nails 29 northeast.
I see him.
2, pitfall.
If you could kind of give updates, is he hot, or like kind of give updates to me?
Oh, I just saw the nails. I didn't see him on the radar.
Okay. You could try to acquire on radar, going east.
Well, but he was west, right?
No, let's see which way. That's east. Yeah, the 29 was east.
Hog 3, Dragnet 1, be advised. Threat aircraft, bullseye 22510 14,000.
Yeah, 4, watch out. I think there might be a furball over there, so be careful of your shots.
Copy.
3, good data. Right now you gotta make a decision, 3. Which one do you think you want to go after? Because we're at a split here.
Y'all seeing this one?
We're cold right now, so if you're north, go ahead and take the shot if you're close enough. 4 is on going after someone else, and we're about to turn hot here.
I'm gonna see if I can declare this.
Mustang 5-3, Dragnet 1, contact confirmed hostile.
Four, come cold, come west. There's a bandit to your north.
4, target west.
3, Fox 3 medium.
2, monitor this guy.
3, Pitbull. I got nails off my, about 040.
Alright, go ahead and head south. 1's hot, back in. And 2, if that guy I told you to monitor is cold, go ahead and turn back with me.
He's left aspect.
Alright, copy. 3, continue south after we pass, because you're kind of deep in there, so just continue south.
3 heading south.
I lost him.
And then 2, I want you to follow me. We're going north, trying to get these 2 bandits here.
I lost lock on that contact.
Copy to the... Alright, hold on, stand by. Box 3 medium behind, it's on the 6 o'clock at 3, 248, 43, 13,000. Alright, that bandit's cold, 3, you're clear, keep going south though. Pitbull. Bonsai, keep on going, one's gonna keep going north, see if I can see anybody else. And then 3, at your discretion, you can turn back when you want.
I'm gonna give you all
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, nearest threat, 340-179,000. Hold, hostile, Prince, MiG-21, 2 ship.
There's that 2 ship, 1's off cold, going back south.
Three, turning back north.
Stay firm, and if you need to get a, when you're hot, you have the radios for AWACS, so feel free to do a picture call or something.
3.
And then 4, try to rejoin with 3 when you can.
I lost you.
I'm descending, I'm at steer point 5.
Mission.
2, you have tally, I'm onto your 3 o'clock.
Ford, can you lock this guy up?
Are you on my 3 o'clock or is the bandit on my 3 o'clock?
I'm on your 3 o'clock, 2. Reference data link.
4, on your 3. 3 o'clock.
MiG-21's pretty bold, heading straight at me 1,000 knots.
Just whack 'em. You got visual?
Radar, I'm following you.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1. Picture is 2 groups. Range and azimuth split. East group bullseye 25540 19,000. Hot hostile. West group bullseye 26067 21,000. Track east hostile.
3 Pitbull.
One's in.
Might have gotten too anxious and shot too early.
Yeah, keep going south, we'll pass each other. One is hot. There's a follow-on group, 21,000. Stepped on, say again 3. Say again 2.
26050 Bandit.
Yep. Locked. 2 monitor that guy. Alright, 2 sort our target, that 21,000. Fox when able. Got mud 2, one's out.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1. Picture is 2 groups. Azimuth split. Northeast group 33522 19,000. Dragging hostile. Southwest group 30524 19,000. Dragging hostile.
2 Fox 2. Two Pitbull.
like y'all got him.
Sweet. Two, don't worry too much about catching up because I'll have to turn eventually. So don't burn too much gas trying to catch up.
I'm just going willpower.
Yeah, that sounds good. What you see over there, 3?
I got nothing out to 80 miles.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, picture is 1 group. Bullseye 2, 8, 5, 4, 9, 18,000. Track north, hostile.
I'm not seeing anything on 285.
Two has only shot both my Bravos. I've still got all my Charlies.
Copy.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, picture is 1 group. Bullseye 2, 9, 0, 4, 9, 17,000. Track north, hostile.
So you got me spiked.
Yeah, those me.
I've got nothing at Bullseye 290, 4 and 5.
Copy. Yeah, we're looking too. I don't see anything either, but make sure you don't go too far, but turn cold whenever you want.
Found him.
Good data.
They're still a ways out. I think I'm going to turn out and let you guys have a crack at them.
Sounds good.
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, contact confirmed hostile.
Say again, 2?
Two locked that guy. I thought you just saw.
Alright, copy. monitor and sort, so you'll take the shot.
Data.
That guy, right?
Yep, 7,000, yep. Watch out for this SA2, we're getting kind of close, but I want you to at least get a shot off on that 7,000 guy.
As soon as I was about to shoot, I broke the lock.
Alright, see if you can get him back, if not, we'll turn off.
No, I lost him.
One's out.
Three coming back in.
2, if you could give data real quick to 3. If able.
Unable.
Copy.
What heading were you on?
About 330. It was descending through 7,000, so it might be landing or something.
Okay, I see y'all. Two, can you call for a picture?
Say again?
I'm sorry, one, can you call for a picture for us?
Mustang 5-1, Dragnet 1, picture is 1 group. Bullseye 280564000. Beaming. Outlaw.
Yeah, he's probably landing. Go ahead and rejoin when we pass you at 3.
3. Yeah, he's sitting right on top of that SA2.
Pass and go and join here.
3 coming around.
Steer 8.
Hey, one, do you have a SOP of dropping your external tanks whenever you hit 7,200 pounds?
Not really. I usually don't do it because in campaigns it's a countdown system, so I usually don't do it. The only time I'll do it is if I'm like defending something, or if I like have low fuel, I might as well just jettison them. But if it's all normal like this, then I usually don't worry about it.
Makes sense. So when I get a soft lock like I have on you guys, it doesn't show up as a lock on your RDVR, right?
No, it's just priority 16. I don't hear anything.
That's handy. I can get an idea of how fast I'm closing on you.
Yep. But if you get too close, and even if you are soft locked, it'll go spike because it's so close and the radiation's focused.
That's what happened with us earlier, right?
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Yep. Flight fence out, lead is 7.2.
Two fenced out, fuel is 6.2.
3 fenced out, 6.6.
Four field, 4-7.
Landing 27 right, so it'll be the right one. Starting to slow it down.
Two, runway inside.
Good afternoon. Mustang 5-1, Osan approach. Lead contact with TACAN approach.
Alright, ATC's not going to like our landing, but it's ending it, so 1 gear down.
Two, gear down.
Point.
3 is geared down, but I still don't have the runway in sight very well.
Seems like you're on a good heading here.
Oh, I got it now.
I'm going to land and then kind of migrate to the left side. If you're going to overshoot, stay on the right side. One wheel's down.
Two wheels down.
Mustang 5-1, Osan Tower. Next time, get clearance before landing. Mustang 5-1, contact tower. Mustang 5-2, Osan Tower. Next time, get clearance before landing. Mustang 5-2, contact tower. Switch 30880.
One is off runway left.
Three wheels down.
Mustang 5-3, Osan Tower. Next time, get clearance before landing.
Two off
Mustang
runway left.
5-3, contact tower. Switch 30880.
3 off on right.
Mustang 5-4, Osan Tower. Next time, get clearance before landing. Mustang 5-4, contact tower. Switch 30880.
Yes, park wherever you want, and then hop out whenever you want. Or you're getting a little close to the edge there. Start braking. I think it's K.
Why I cannot brake so quick?
Oh boy.
Been there many times.
I don't know.
You're slowing down. That's good. Nice. Right next to the fuel truck. Sweet. Perfect.
That was nice sliding around.
That was perfect. Alright, we all made it. So go ahead and head out, and I'll meet you in debrief. I'll go over this in TAC view.
Couple hits. Sweet.
I didn't even try to keep eyes on him, so I couldn't tell if it splashed or not. I was mostly trying to turn with you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, there's the live stream. Y'all did well. Very, very good. No one died, no one crashed, no one did anything, so that's always a good mission no matter what.
I tell you what, 4 is a rock star. He stayed on my tail the whole time.
Yeah, he's like glue.
I couldn't fly like that. Luckily, I didn't have
definitely
to.
couldn't.
Dama, your mic's muted if you wanna talk. But yeah, that was a good formation. Get up there, and it depends on what the lead wants. Usually they go over it in briefing, but usually it's like this, and then the second element kind of waits, and then they take off, wait 5 seconds, and then the other element takes off. That's pretty standard. And usually,
I don't have pedal, so I use a keyboard to brake.
oh yeah, that's awful. But you still did great. I mean, that's still pretty good.
Thank you.
So usually, when the lead sets you up like this, that's a good indication if that's where he wants you to be on the turn. Because I'm setting you up because we're going to turn left here. So I put you on the right side so we could turn left, so you're not on the inside turn trying to adjust. So it's easier for you on the outside there.
Okay, yeah, it made sense after we took off. I was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry about switching. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but that's what usually happens when the lead puts you on a specific side. So yeah, we took off. Where I kind of went to this point where we started getting contacts over there, or I wanted to get up there quick as possible, so I kind of cut this corner. We had some friendly 15s up there, so that was pretty neat. They took care of the 29s on the east side, it seems like. So I set up this 10-mile spacing because I wanted us to be able to fight whatever. So you got that 10-mile spacing. So if we get in trouble, at least the second element is able to help us out. If we're both within like 3 miles, then we're all in trouble. So I wanted to separate us a little bit that way.
Did you tell him to do 10-mile spacing around
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, he did.
Yep. And since we're really close, usually if it's like a longer flight, like we'll be in a closer formation, like 2 or 3 miles, and then like 10 miles out from, or a certain time out from where we're about to fight, or our cap area, I would have my second element spin. So it would spin left or spin right. That would get us just about 10 miles if they get the turning right. So just before we get there, second element will spin, and they'll be behind us about 10 miles. That all depends on tactics. If the lead wants that, or if you want all in a wall, so you got 4 players all in line abreast. That's another thing that could be done. But it just depends on the situation. So here was good, and I liked how you stayed over here. You didn't follow me, so that was good. Even though it was above 10 miles, like I just want more than 10 miles, because don't worry about the distance too much.
Yeah, I wanted to stay in that in those 2 steer point areas.
Yeah, it worked out
And,
perfect.
I knew you were going to engage, and whenever you went cold, I'd come in right behind you.
Yep, that was perfect. So we saw these on the radar, or AWACS called us, and I noticed both of these groups here. So I was just monitoring, and then we finally got them, locking them up, trying to get them to go to commit to us. And like in this case, there's no reason for us to commit, because 1, there's a SA2 here. 2, we'll be going into North Korea, and 3, we have a perfectly able second element to do that work for us as they're getting closer to us. So that's why I called us off and had you go in. That's why we separate too, so this exact thing happens.
That's smart. That's really smart.
Because if you had everybody right here, then we're all in the same situation. And then once everybody's cold, then you're in a really bad situation if everybody's cold.
And I guess I probably should have been a little bit more aware that and not locked them up into STT so that it wouldn't have blown up their radar warnings.
Well, that's not too like the radar warning thing, huh?
Well, if they're following you, I want them to keep following you and not notice me.
Well, I mean, it is what they're MiG-21s, but
yeah, they're not gonna get high end, but
because they're gonna notice you at some point.
Their RWR's trash.
It is pretty
I don't
trash.
know that they have one. In fact, I'll check this weekend. My brother-in-law works for a foundation that owns MiG-21, a MiG-19, a bunch of other Cold War planes, and we're going out to their hangar this weekend. So I'm going to throw my son in there, get some pictures.
Awesome. But even with PvP, don't really worry about RWR and like giving them warnings, because it's not really relevant. If they know about you, cool. If they don't know about you, cool. Like it's not really tactically advantageous to have them hear something or not hear something. Because I would think if someone doesn't know you're there, they make certain decisions. But if they know you're there, they make different decisions, and they might make a mistake. If they hear their RWR chirping and stuff in it, and it kind of surprises them in PvP, because they see us there, and then they see us turn cold, and now they have someone else hot as well, and they may not have you on radar, but on the RWR it goes straight to the inner ring, so they might think you're closer, and they might freak out.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want.
Yeah, it's just, it boils down to luck, basically.
Basically, yeah. And whoever has the most situational awareness. You probably shouldn't have gone to STT because they're kind of far out.
Yeah.
Let's go back. And then you can kind of be aware of this follow-on group.
Yeah.
So, and any other groups around, because there could be like a guerrilla group of like 16 behind there, and if you're in STT, you don't know about them.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get you to say when you're foxing.
I did.
Oh, I thought I heard you. I thought I had to ask you if you foxed or not.
Yeah, well, you did, and I told you before you asked and after you asked.
Oh,
now,
okay.
that being said, I might not have hit down on my hat, because whenever my throttle's in full throttle, sometimes down is kind of like forward instead of down. So
okay.
I'm still working on that.
I think that's what happened, because you sounded like you did say it, but I didn't hear it either.
Because I was waiting for you to fox before I turned. I was making sure that you foxed. So after y'all foxed, you sorted well. So you got the left, and 4 got the right. That's a good sort. And waited till about Pitbull, and you're out, and we're already in. So that's perfect. And
Did
we're ready.
4 nail that guy on the first shot?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah,
that's
sure
nice.
Nice.
Oh.
Very nice. This one didn't quite get them. But now these two guys are hot, and they're spiking you, and we're hot, so there's no reason why for you to turn back because you got
That's
the first
exactly
element.
how it's supposed to work.
Oh, great.
So even though you hear them spiking you, and don't freak out too much, as long as the other element's hot, do not turn around.
Yeah.
Here we foxed again. So even though we're on the opposite sides, I still take the leader. Cause I'm like in my brain, I wasn't looking where you were, but in my head, I assume you're a little bit behind me, and you are just barely, but you're a little bit behind me. I take the lead because I have the most SA, and I'm in front of you by a little bit, and then you take the trailer. Just based off those reasons, even though they're on opposite sides. But we did a great sort by getting the.
Yeah, I think this is where I cranked right because of the way they were facing, and then you turned left, and I was like, oh no, I didn't know which way to turn.
Yeah, that's
I thought
fine.
right was the move.
So
it looks cool for movies, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. So usually the lead, I would say like Fox 3 cranking whichever direction, and then you would follow suit. But we're really close together, so it's not a bad thing that we're close. We still got, was that a mile? So a 2 mile line abreast. So that's actually a good tactical formation there. I didn't want to go this way because I knew those 29s were over there.
Oh.
That's what, even though they're 36 miles, but I just didn't want to go over there.
That makes sense. And I turn right towards them, and then turn away.
Yeah,
And
I told you to come left.
These are just MiGs. Yeah.
Come left, and you did. So that was good. So came left. Those missiles are out on them. Seems like.
Got that one, and the other one's just short.
Yeah, just short. This one might not have. It might have just exploded near it.
Yeah.
So you two are hot. So here is where it got a little hairy. So here is where somehow 2 and 4 got split, or 3 and 4 got split. Oh, I think this is when the confusion with I totally might have said the wrong thing, but I was trying to get you to go to the east because I had a spike to the northeast. These 29s right here.
Okay.
But yeah, I might have said the complete opposite what I wanted, but that was the plan going on in my head. I wanted you to turn this way to monitor these guys, even though the 15s were taking care of them, but I still wanted to be aware of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because that's when we lost track of. That's when y'all lost track of them, right when y'all were turning.
I lost.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 got splashed by the 15.
Yeah.
And 4's IFFing these guys. Glad you didn't shoot them. Because in moments like that, like, it's totally understandable. Like, you get your heart rate starts going, you start breathing heavy, you start sweating, and the first thing you see, you fox. So that's good control and stuff on that.
The missile.
I just downed an F-18 last week when I didn't know that they were in the theater, and I saw something with 2 tail fins, and I thought, hey, that's a MiG-29.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, yeah. In the heat of the moment, anything could happen. Yeah, you got shot by a R-77 there. So 4, you got spiked from that direction. It probably freaked you out a little bit.
That scared me.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy. And you did the right thing to turn off cold, because you probably don't know this guy is there until he spikes you.
I don't know.
He's 20. That's really close. Like, you don't want to be that close and not know someone's there. So you did the right thing to turn away, because that missile is about halfway when you finish that turn. So you definitely did the right thing. And nice.
Nice turns.
Serpentine S turns. That's good. That's very good. Sorted.
Whoa.
Notice that this was friendly. Got spiked over here. Turned in the opposite direction. Dodged a missile. And that's about as best I can ask for. That's pretty good.
Well, this is my first successful online mission.
Oh, nice. Nice. Good job. So here, 3. So this, when I said you got to make a decision, because you knew about, I don't know if you knew about them, but those 2 groups here. So you have to kind of just kind of
commit to one.
Yeah, commit to one. Yeah, decide which one seems like more of a threat in that exact moment, and just commit to one.
At that point, I wasn't getting any warnings on the 29 over there. All I could see anywhere was the 21 to the left there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's perfectly, yeah. They're 8-mile difference, and one's hot. The other one is kind of hot.
I think he just got hit.
Oh, oh yeah, he did.
Oh, it
no.
was close. No,
Almost.
it was real close, but he was running away at least.
Yeah.
He lost his buddy and said, Oh, he got hit the second time. Right after he committed to 4 there, that other F-15 took him out. Oh.
No, it is the first Fox
Good Lord,
one.
he had to launch like 4 or 5 missiles at that guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
there he
second
is.
one got him. So here we're turning hot because I know the distance will suffice on our grinder. So I turn hot without you foxing. I don't want to get too far behind you. So your commit, you fox at 13 miles. AI has a very weird defensive maneuver.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. I don't think most people would.
And then you got that one. You're off cold, and looky there, we're hot. So I sword on this one, get a fox off, crank. And then I bonsai. Does anybody know what bonsai is? Pop quiz.
Come back in to see if you can re-engage.
Yep.
Because you're not getting any nails off of them.
Exactly. So yeah, I deem the situation safe for me to continue back. So I decide here, because I know some of us are cold, and I know that you're really close, so I don't want you to be that close. So that's why I bonsai to kind of delouse you a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I was so confused right here.
Oh, when I was turning?
Yeah, when you started turning back into him, I was like, oh, okay.
Like, I guess this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching him. He didn't do anything, and then 3 or 4. Yeah, I had you turn back.
Yeah, we got a little spread out there.
Yeah. And it set us up nicely for a little reset. Yeah, couldn't get that shot off, but 3's back in. Gets the launch, no track.
Huh.
Now we're back in. I gave you permission to shoot, or the monitor. You fox, you crank, and schwack.
Got him.
Now you're back hot, and this guy he was running away because everyone was dead.
Lost all of his friends. Finally figured out, and it ain't worth it. Oh, started getting a little gutsy.
Yeah. And that was it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was a pretty cool engagement. Hopefully you guys had fun.
That was huge.
Very fun.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was really good leading. This is only like my 5th or 6th multiplayer flight, so
nice.
It's very, very impressive.
Awesome. Well, y'all did very well.
Most of my flights have been that UOAF Saturday flight with like 40 different people.
Yes.
And that's talk about situation overload.
Oh yeah, that's insanity. Like I did the one with Stevie with 20 BVR.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like you need to focus on one thing at a time, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was a little overwhelming for an introduction to multiplayer flight.
It is. It is. But if you do that first, everything else is easy. Like anything
this was
else.
Like, man, what? This is a piece of cake. What are we doing here?
Yeah, this is made to be a intro flight. So I have 21s with Fox 1s only, and then 29s with Fox 1s, and then the other set of 29s have 2 Fox 3s each. So it's not like anything crazy. They're not going up like 16 Su-30s or something.
Yeah.
Just a little something to get your blood pumping.
I've been really wanting to find a flight of 4 guys to fly that the Intercept TE. Have you flown that one?
No.
It's if you go to the saved TEs, it's in there. Well, no, not. where is it? Listen, exit. Yeah, on tactical engagements under saved, there's scramble. That's it.
Oh, scramble. I've tried it a couple times just by myself to see what it was like.
By yourself, it's tough because
Yeah.
directing all the AI flights into the right thing is it's a pain. But I've been wanting to try that with 3 other real people to see if you can coordinate it really well. But this is a great introduction.
Is this the paid version of TACView? I haven't seen so much of this. Like you can see when people are locking.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
radar and
It's
stuff.
the advanced.
That's nuts.
Yep.
Oh, that's worth it.
You can get radar locks on the standard version.
Oh, really?
I get that, but you've got some extra stuff like the steer points. I don't get that on mine.
So the steer point, I don't know if you do it in the standard, but you could drag your INI file on top of TACView and it should load it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just drag
That
it on
might be
top.
it. Okay, I'll give it a
that's
shot.
Cool.
Yeah, I was struggling. I need to find this runway here. Everybody else is counting on me. I need to do this real quick. So I was trying to find
it
this.
wouldn't let me lock up. It wouldn't let me switch the ILS TACAN for some reason.
That's weird.
I don't know. Maybe I had it in the wrong mode, and I don't know. And I was also trying not to run into everybody else. So
Yeah, busy.
yeah.
And the reason why I said so active right and then turning off to the left, because if someone overshoots, you're not both in the middle or something. Especially when you're coming in like close, little close. So if in case someone has to overshoot, the person who's good turns off to the left, depending on the taxiway setup. You turn to the left, and the person overshooting stays on the right. And then once you're good, you kind of migrate to the left to deconflict possible overshoots. Here's this classic whoop.
That was
Good,
beautiful.
good to go.
It even looks good in TACView.
Yeah, he's like, all right, boys, I'm here. And he's like, oh, well, maybe a little bit.
Why I'm very difficult to stop.
Fast and Furious ain't got nothing on me.
Yep, right there, like you did on purpose. Perfect. That's pretty much it. Any overall questions? I know it was probably really crazy, but it's a really good introduction, and it gets everything across in BVR.
That is a really good mission. That is well designed, and you did a great job leading it. It was a lot of fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was.
It's all right. And now it's 12:30, and I have to go to bed because my daughter has to get me up at 6. So
Oh wow.
it sucks.
But yeah, if you don't know me, I'm Aviation Plus on YouTube, but I've all those videos on there. So if you ever get bored, you'd have 3 hours spare. You could watch those videos.
Cool. Anybody doing the TVT stuff over at Falcon Online?
I might do it later on. Yeah, I'll probably do that.
They're starting up their Nordic Lapland campaign this Friday. So yeah, I just joined up. That was the first thing I got started on multiplayer. I got to like the last 2 weeks of their last campaign.
Yeah.
And I've been hooked. So,
oh yeah.
But yeah, this is a beautiful flight. Thank you for leading it. And he was super tight. I can't fly that close in formation yet, so he looked great.
Yeah, thank you.
So all right, thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Later.
Yeah, night, boys.
Good night.